The story of Chantal unfolds in Berlin's social housing, where a young woman with big ambitions but minimal talents is trying to realize her cherished dream of becoming a popular social media influencer. Her life is not the best. She lives with an alcoholic mother and brother, has no achievements in education, sports, or art, but has incredible persistence and faith in her own success. Chantal is constantly making attempts at content creation, which more often than not end in comical failures. For example, during a live Instagram broadcast, she manages to glue her hands to the sink, which, however, does not diminish her enthusiasm at all. Her main motivation is popularity and recognition on social media. When the chewing gum company Crunchy Gum announces a competition for aspiring influencers with a small audience, Chantal sees this as a unique chance to realize her ambitions. She plans to make a spectacular commercial, but her friend Zeynep is skeptical. Zeynep is focused on more down-to-earth goals, waiting for a professional invitation from a prestigious law firm. In the spirit of competition, Chantal tries to involve Zeynep in the shoot, but she is met with a flat refusal. Moreover, she commits an extraordinary and dubious act. She intercepts a letter with an invitation from the law firm addressed to her friend and hides it. Then she persuades Zeynep to take a low-paid job at the local youth center, where they work together with children. During a rehearsal for a children's theater performance, the girls discover an ancient Gothic mirror with a mysterious inscription. At first, they treat it as just another oddity, until Chantal starts fantasizing about her advertising script, a story where she is a princess and Zeynep is a witch. At that moment, something incredible happens. The mirror suddenly comes to life and utters the magical phrase, "Your wish is my command." Caught by surprise, Chantal kicks the mirror, but instead of shattering, it pulls first her foot and then both girls inside itself, transporting them to a mysterious parallel space. This incredible turn of events turns an ordinary story about provincial dreams into an exciting fantasy with elements of magical realism, where the line between reality and fantasy becomes almost invisible. Chantal and Zeynep find themselves in the magical world of Catania, where fairy tales become reality. They are greeted by a spirit named Sparky, the keeper of the portals between worlds. She explains that Chantal has activated a magic mirror and is now Princess Rosalia Esmeralda, the only daughter of King Wildrich II of Catania. Sparky warns that the king is a tyrant who has destroyed all the portals because of a prophecy about an alien who will overthrow his rule. The girls have only 24 hours until the portal reopens. In the castle, they meet Aladdin, who is not a prince here, but a servant. Chantal tries to flirt with him, but Aladdin runs away in fear. They meet Amalia, a noble lady who invites them to a ball. At dinner, they discover the strangeness of the royal family. The queen is imprisoned in a painting, and the king is an old man who retains his youth thanks to the water from the fountain of youth. In parallel, the story of Prince Bosco, who is secretly in love with the stable boy Felipe and is forced to marry Princess Rosalia, unfolds. Chantal learns a detail of her own fate. According to a prophecy, she will soon be cursed by a witch named Samsara and fall into a century-long sleep. She can only be awakened by the kiss of true love. That same evening, Samsara appears in Catania in the form of an old woman with a spinning wheel. This turn of events transforms an ordinary story of social ambition into a thrilling fairy tale fantasy drama with elements of magical realism. Before the witch can do any damage, Chantal and Zeynep attack her unexpectedly, knowing her unique weakness. The witch's skin is vulnerable only to silver weapons. Using a silver spoon and rod, they overpower Samsara and force her to extract the curse from Chantal's body by encasing it in a vase. Then they let the witch go home. In the morning, while waiting for the magic portal to open, the girls hear a noise outside. A prince appears at the window, climbing into the room. Chantal flatly refuses to go home without creating content for social media and convinces Zeynep to stay behind to shoot a commercial for Crunchy Gum. Zeynep hides behind a curtain with her phone while Chantal pretends to be asleep. Prince Bosco reluctantly tries to kiss her, but Chantal suddenly wakes up and starts acting out the scenario for the video. She tries to elicit a declaration of love from the prince, but he is clearly not into it. In nervousness, the prince grabs a vase and accidentally releases a 100-year-old curse that flies into his mouth. Bosco loses consciousness and the magic mirror shatters, blocking the only way home. A summoned Sparky is furious at their mess and explains, "Only a novice which with a natural gift can fix the portal." Chantal remembers. She wished to be a princess, and her friend wished to be a witch. So Zeynep will have to be trained in witchcraft. The girls decide to find Samsara, who lives in the enchanted forest. After hiding the unconscious Bosco, they meet Aladdin. At first he tries to avoid socializing, but Chantal begs for help. Aladdin shows an ancient tattered carpet and agrees to escort them. They set off on horseback, travel long hours, and finally reach the entrance to the enchanted forest. Chantal and Zeynep go inside, while Aladdin stays behind to look after the horses. Entering a huge wooden house, the girls meet Samsara, a witch who has placed a century-old curse on Princess Rosalia. Noticing a special locket on Chantal, the witch suddenly falls to her knees before them. Samsara reveals an ancient prophecy about a hero from another world who must infiltrate the Forbidden Castle and find a blue diamond. With the help of this powerful stone, the hero will overthrow the tyrant king Wildrich II. It turns out that the king has cruelly banished all the witches from Catania. They used to work as midwives, helping women give birth safely, but after the prediction, the king became suspicious and banished them. Samsara gives Chantal a compass that points the way to the Forbidden Castle and a book of ancient spells. Zeynep stays with the witch to learn witchcraft. Back at the castle, Chantal tries to bring Bosco to his senses with the help of the new book. Felipe, a stable boy, suddenly appears and kisses the prince, after which he awakens. It turns out that they are meant for each other. Chantal joyfully congratulates the lovers, but they are interrupted by a visit from the king. Seeing Bosco and his daughter together, the king decides to organize a wedding and a grand celebration. Chantal then begins to gather ingredients to restore the magic mirror, asking Aladdin for help and secretly stealing the rest of the castle. In gratitude for her help, Chantal secretly repairs Aladdin's carpet, filling it with magic from an ancient book. A few days later, Zeynep returns to Catania, having completed the ritual of becoming a witch. The friends restore the magic mirror, using Zeynep's witchcraft abilities and Chantal's ingredients. However, dark magic changes Zeynep. She becomes suspicious and aggressive, attacking Chantal. Bosco's mother recognizes Zeynep as a witch. The soldiers bind her with silver chains and prepare to arrest Chantal. She escapes on Aladdin's carpet to the Forbidden Castle. In the castle, Chantal meets a ferocious dragon. Instead of fear, she speaks to it lovingly, and the huge creature turns into a docile pet. She finds a blue diamond on an ancient throne and flies with the dragon back to Catania. On the way, they stop at the Fountain of Youth, hidden in the forest. The dragon draws water, which they carry with them. In Catania, the king holds a public ceremony where Zeynep is to be burned at the stake. Chantal rides in on a dragon and sprinkles the king and his men with water from the Fountain of Youth. The water of the Fountain of Youth instantly turns the king and his men into babies. After freeing Zeynep, Chantal seizes the crown of the kingdom, placing a blue diamond on it and becoming the official ruler of Catania. Using her magical powers, she frees the queen from the portrait and appoints Amalia as chief of the knights responsible for the defense of the kingdom. The friends return to the restored magic mirror, say goodbye to Sparky's spirit, and return to their world. Chantal receives a book describing their adventures in Fairyland. In the finale, Chantal gives Zeynep her long-lost invitation from the law firm. The girls forget their past differences and vow to be together forever.